Yeah, so then I realized when I logged on that Teddy Fresh and SpongeBob did an official collaboration, but of course it was like hell sold out because Hila does all that shit within like quality batches because she actually, I don't know if she like still makes all of this shit like manually,
Right.
But you know, I'm sure her operation's grown since because it's doing pretty well, but yeah, when I saw that they had an official collaboration with SpongeBob, I was just like, that's pretty cool, but nothing. I was hoping to grab some piece. Well, I wanted a hat originally because I have two of her. I know I'm going to show it to the not camera, but I have two of her hats. So, you know, I like her. I like her stuff. I'd like to get shirts and sweaters eventually, but like any boutique brand, like clothing, it's all pretty expensive because, you know.
Yeah.
But I do like supporting local wear. Like, I think I first got into that. God, I forgot how many San Japans ago it was. I want to say it was 2016 or 2017. Oh, no, I don't even think it was in San Japan. It was one of the conventions, though, and this one group was showing off their own clothing line, and I thought it was cool, so I bought some of that shit. Always tends to cost a bit more, but I like it. But yeah. What'd you do this week, Mr. Josh?
Let's see. I've been playing a bit more Mega Man X.
Nice.
Zero collection drops. I've been playing that. I feel like there was something else.
A side thing that we both did?
Yeah. Fuck.
Know.
Right. Yeah, I started a new Gunpla.
Oh, yeah.
Zaku. Yeah,
Zaku.
I even told you about that earlier.
Yeah.
Geez, was that really all I did? I feel like I did a lot more.
Sometimes when we do, well, you know, and then a lot of it has to do with, like, when we do these weekly recaps, I think what we do realize sometimes is how little we get to do for ourselves sometimes in a week because work and whatnot.
Yeah, it felt like a long work week for me, and I know majority of it I did spend sleeping when I got home.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta take your victories when you can, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, I had a sad nothing week. I mean, I was back to content creation, as everyone probably saw my message, or if you didn't, I'll mention it here real quick. I took a mental health week, took that off, so gone. You know, I'm done with that. It's good. I should be all right now. Everything's back. I guess this is also a good place to go ahead and say that I am sunsetting Patrick's Grandstand. As much fun as it was making those videos and getting shit off my chest in terms of things that are bothering me, the reception isn't bad, but there also was just that not much reception, so it didn't seem like too many people were checking that out. So I don't know. If people go like, oh, you know, if in the future people see the like 3 episodes and they're like, oh man, I wish we still did that, then I guess I'll bring it back. But I don't know. If I'm gonna do a third series for a week, I feel like I really need to be all into it. So yeah. So that's going away for now, at least. And I didn't play any games this week, which sucks. I kept doing the thing where I wanted to, then I would think about what to play, and then I would just end up putting on Netflix or sleeping. So there's that. It's going to be another busy week this week because I'm going to be in Dallas. I was in Austin, obviously. We were going to talk about that in a second. And then a couple weeks ago, we were in Austin, and we had a long weekend. I can't remember exactly what weekend that was. Very ambiguous weekend. I can't remember when that was.
2 weeks?
Unnamed weekend. I just, for some reason, I can't recollect what weekend. It was sometime this year, though. I know it was sometime this year.
Certainly this year.
Yeah, so there's that.
That was a long night.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to do that kind of drive again.
Yeah, the drive was the bad part. Everything else was pretty cool. But yeah, so we were in Austin this week, and yes, this Friday night. According to Mallory, that's the weekend. So we went to go see Twerp, TWRP, as we'll call, and Protoman. So that's really cool. I've seen Protoman before, a long time ago. They opened for like Mega Ran or some shit, and then this was your first time seeing them live, right?
Yeah,
so,
this was my first time seeing Protoman live.
Actually, your first time seeing both of them live, right?
Yes, this is true.
Go ahead. So your reception, because this was... I had fun, but this was more like Josh's show that he wanted to go to, so...
Yeah, I mean,
I've
been listening to TWRP for a while, and, you know, so I was pretty much ready with that. Now, the Protomen, I never really got too into them. I've had friends who have been super into them, but I just never got into it. But I did check it out, so I was drilling, like, Act 1 and Act 2... for the past couple weeks. Actually just been grinding those albums essentially, which good, interesting stuff. Despite the fact that when we saw Protoman, we kind of had like a not so great view because we were not only on kind of the rafter, but like a distance from there.
Yeah, we were still in get into it mode, I think.
Yeah,
because we're old and it takes a lot to get excited now.
Yeah, but otherwise, I think they did a really good performance.
Yeah, they did. It was fun.
It was very energetic, which is what I liked.
Yep.
Probably not as energetic as TWRP. That was woo.
Yeah,
that was really good. It was a great show all around.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. It was nice. No offense to local acts or openers, but it was nice that we just got to the meat and potatoes. Started it pretty on time.
Yeah,
TWRP had a bit of a like a 20-minute awkward because here's the thing, because I know someone's gonna actually me about this. It wasn't setup because setup got done if they had started right after because I timed it. If they had started right after the Proto Man went off, their setup was so fast. It was like they would have been 2 minutes late. Mm-hmm. But it ended up being like 20 minutes after the alleged set time, which I know at most shows set times don't mean anything, and it's just a suggestion. But the Protoman started on time and ended like exactly when their start and end was. So I was surprised. But regardless, though, it was an awesome show. I bought a shirt, which wasn't the intention at first, but after the show, I had to. So there was that.
Yeah. I feel like the Protoman had a bit of a teardown. Like they had to put down that huge sign and all that stuff. So
yeah. Yeah, no, it was just a little weird just standing there in the audience, like, because I'm used to watching the teardown and setup. Then after the teardown, there was the setup, but then it got done, and still like a long time went by before they even fucking played some intro track that literally felt like it was looping forever. Like I started getting really anxious because if it was just silence. No, you know what? If it was just silence, I would have probably died because of all the stupid conversation that was going on around me. But anyways. But it was fun, though. So that was pretty much the only thing I did this week. This upcoming week, I'm going to be in Dallas. So there is that. God, I am really not looking forward to the travel part. But the hotel room to myself and the show itself will be fun stuff. So there's good.
Yeah.
All right. So... anyways, I think that's it. Let's see. Yep, didn't play games. Yada, yada, yada. I guess we're just going to get into it. Oh, right. John, Mallory, how was your week? I was originally going to separate them before doing that, but then I said fuck it. No, they're not here, both for personal reasons. So they will hopefully be back next week. That'll be like a month pretty much without Mallory almost. Well, it's 3 weeks without Mallory, so yeah, next month will be a month. And then John just misses one because stuff. Oh, right. I'm going to go first this time just to change it up. You can find all my stuff at ZD Rocker, and you can also go to SlimationEntertainment.com and DisconnectedCast.com. And Mr. Josh, where can they find you on the internet?
Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, at Just Shiro Joestar, YouTube, Shiro Play 5.
All right. So, starting off with the news, a port I was waiting for a while because it came out on PS4 to somewhat mixed reception. Some people I know liked it. From what I saw, not everyone was crazy about it. It's a game called After Party. It came out on PS4 and PC and probably some other stuff a while back, but of course, like anything, I'm waiting for the Switch port. That will come out on March 6th, so that's exciting. It's going to be this week. It's going to be like $25, but I believe it's on sale for excuse me. It's normally $19.99. It's on sale for $14.99. So get it for the pre-order price if you can. It's basically a narrative-driven adventure game where you and a friend are trying to escape from hell, but it has a very cool aesthetic to it and a good soundtrack and blah 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 blah. But anyways, it looks good. We'll see. I'll obviously be back with both a first impressions video, but then I'll also probably talk about it on the podcast. So there's that. Switch production. Josh and I talked about. I need to stop saying that because a lot of the stuff we talked about before, so it's a little weird that we're the only two left. But anyways, Switch
so
production.
Lonely.
I know, right? It's weird for you. You're gonna hear some of this shit the second time.
Yeah.
But Switch production has been held up due to the coronavirus, and as you can imagine, parts, outsource, all that stuff. Working in retail myself, we're definitely feeling that heavily. Lots of stuff that we sell production-wise being, even if it isn't assembled. This is the thing, right? Is I hear a lot of ignorant fucks like to say I only buy American, but the thing is, a lot of parts in American-built stuff is still outsourced.
Yeah.
So, like, why? But yeah, they did say that they're trying to resolve this as soon as possible, even if it means going to other countries and getting production continued that way. But we will see, because, you never know. Of course, they'll promise that. Representative from Nintendo does say not to worry for any units that have been pre-ordered, according to the Nintendo rep, is going to still be fine. But the thing is it going to be fine because the units have already been assembled due to pre-order numbers? Or is it like going to be fine in the sense that they're just saying that because they don't want people to panic? I don't know. The biggest question that this poses is, if there is this issue with the Switch, will the PS5 and Xbox Series X find themselves short-handed in units come November or so, when the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X come out? I mean, they could just delay it, but console delays, if you think about it, aren't really, even if they don't have games on them, they don't seem to delay the console. That seems to pretty much, at least the last few have all stayed on time for the most part.
Yeah.
They usually have rough issues, like no games or,
I mean, I would be super surprised if it was an instance where they just somehow sold out really quickly.
Yeah, you never know now.
Well, launch. I mean, I guess it's more likely to happen if there is going to be a short number of stock due to the coronavirus thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, usually I don't think I've ever heard of console launching and then,
other than
we're all
Nintendo.
out. Yeah.
Because the Wii U had that problem.
Yeah.
And all their minis, their retro console reissues had those issues as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
And the Amiibos. Nintendo's just a pro at fucking up supply and demand.
They just short print.
They just short print hardcore.
Oh god, they're like Konami.
Basically. Except that they still make games.
Mm-hmm.
Not just is that affecting Nintendo Switch production, but GDC, Gamers Developers Conference, is actually going to be postponed indefinitely because of the virus as well. They were going to originally keep going. It is going to take place in San Francisco. It's not like it takes place in China or anything like that. But Sony pulled out. This is in no particular order. I know there was an order that they started to drop out, but guess what? They all dropped out for a while now, so I'm just going to say it. Sony dropped out. EA dropped out. Activision dropped. Blizzard dropped out. Unity dropped out. Epic Games dropped out. So at that point, games developer, the GDC people running GDC were just like, well, I mean, like pretty much. Oh, I think Bethesda also announced that they were wrapping up. It's one of those things where at that point, GDC saw this and was just like, it's no, like, cool indie games, whatever, but with the major publishers and developers not there, better just wait. And so so they went ahead and announced that GDC will be postponed. However, because it also could just ultimately be canceled, they have refunded all tickets. Once they announce a date, it'll be, however they do it. I've never tried to go to GDC, so I don't know how that works. But I assume it's like any other convention. So basically, you get refunded, and however, first come, first serve, whatever line.
Yeah,
if you're an influencer or a developer, I'm sure you'll just get your invites like normal. So there's that. So we'll see. It was supposed to take place March 16th to 20th, but with all the major companies pulling out, they said, fuck that. We're really starting to see this in a lot of stuff in terms of not just production of stuff, because everything's made in China or uses parts from China, but we talked about it, Outer Worlds delay, we talked about, now the Switch, and then we talked about GDC, even concerts, because things are just saying not to travel, if possible, just to stop going around. And I know some people think, well, wouldn't that be if you're going around that region? But it's really, with however many cases are now having instances of coronavirus, including where we're from, and had their first fatality from the coronavirus. And scary enough, I just read an article that on the local news that talked about how someone who was initially tested as not having it started to show symptoms and went back to get tested again. Turns out they did have it despite being released and it's told they don't have it. So with shit like that, this is why it's better to limit unnecessary travel.
I'll say I think the mayor actually posted something about that recently.
Yeah, it was very recent. Yeah. So and Amazon is I don't know if they can have a policy or legally make anyone do it, but Amazon is pleading to limit even interstate domestic travel to, like, if you don't have to go to the next city or the next state over, don't just chill, like, stay home. There was actually one of the concerts I considered going to, is this group, it's pronounced, it's a whole thing. It's because of Korean and stuff like that. But anyways, they're a group called Idol. They were featured in both of the League of Legends songs and stuff like that. And they have postponed their album release and the world tour, which included US dates because of the coronavirus, just to prevent unnecessary travel. So, yeah, a lot of things are telling people to, don't travel if you don't have to. And I think that that's smart. Now, here's the thing. Is you can not travel, you can blah, 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 blah. But one thing that's very important is that the coronavirus is also has an easier time traveling like any other disease when you're dirty as fuck. So also just don't be dirty as fuck, and you have a better chance of fighting it off or not getting it.
Wash your hands.
That. Yeah, wash your hands. That's another thing. So one of my...
God, wash your hands.
Yeah. Now that my series is canceled, I am going to bring this up now, is one of my upcoming rants was going to be about how often... Now, ladies, you'd have to speak up because I don't know, because I don't go to the ladies' restroom, but... how more often than not in public restrooms I see so many people just dip. Thankfully not the employees, because I know I can report them, but just people, like how many people piss and even shit and just walk the fuck out.
Yep.
It's gross. Like, I don't understand how... Now, this is coming from someone with OCD, I get that. But even without it, being a clean person, like, why? Like what is... It's like turn signals, why are people so can't be fucked to do the most simple of things? It has nothing to do with being a badass, because you're just an idiot at that point. And you're dirty. You're a dirty idiot. That's even worse. Like, you're already an idiot, now you're a dirty idiot. So if you listen to us and you don't wash your hands after you use the restroom, you fuck off, because we don't need you here. Let's see. Streets of Rage 4 revealing a brand new character. I forgot their name and I forgot to put it in the notes, but looks cool. I mean, Streets of Rage has always been a cool series. People always have their reservations, when it comes to a series that it's the first sequel in a while. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, Double Dragon Neon, which is what kind of reminds me with its brighter modern look. Double Dragon Neon was a fun game, but I know a lot of Double Dragon purists who were like, oh, that game sucked, it looked like shit, even though it was theoretically high resolution. That's not the point, I know what they meant. Not the traditional pixel style, it was all anime, hand-drawn bullshit, and blah, blah, blah. But as far as, I mean, I'm not the biggest Double Dragon mark, but as far as I felt like a side-scroll beat-em-up that was fun, so, Streets of Rage 4 is kind of facing the same thing. Some people are a little weary of its modern anime aesthetic, but, Streets of Rage, should be cool.
Looks fine.
Yeah, looks fine. I'm sure it'll play fine, and the soundtrack looks cool.
Yeah, no, soundtrack sounded awesome.
So as long as they don't do a Contra Rogue Core, because that seems to be the one game that people's reservations were of good merit, plus Konami. It's like, Konami just seems to be like Bethesda at this point, where it has to almost be intentional. Because, how do you... Like, your gun can overheat. You have to reload. Yeah. Like, what? For any of you who don't know just how bad it is, just watch Jim Sterling's, look first impressions on it, or Jim impressions on it. It's very clear how bad it is. Like, you can just see the lack of quality. It's why I saw this article, and I didn't want to bring it up yet till it becomes a little more solidified, because we do some rumors, but I try to just stick to news. But there was something where someone was just like, could Konami be doing another Silent Hill? Well, here's the thing, I don't want them to. Because given their pattern of... What was the last good Konami game you played?
Probably one of the Castlevanias.
Right, yeah.
That's been a hot minute.
Yeah, exactly. So given that, and then Rogue Core being one of the newer Konami games I played... Oh, I also did play...
I guess some people would argue that Metal Gear Solid 5... But
yeah, but I played Metal Gear Solid Survive, which came out after that. And,
yeah.
Or Metal Gear Survive, excuse me. where save slots are pay to use.
Oh, God.
And all that stuff. You get one save slot and everything else costs like $5 or some shit like that. Yeah. Or was it 10? Anyways, no, fuck that. Anyways, yeah, Konami probably going to be bad. So here's another weird thing. We talked about Lara Croft being in oh god. Oh, Rainbow Six. There we go. I put it here for a reason. Rainbow Six Siege is adding Lara Croft as like a skin for one of the classes, the female class. Why? And yeah, so there's that. I know. So there's that. But now, this week, Lara Croft has entered Brawlhalla as a... She's not the first guest character. They had some person from Steven Universe and some other bullshit that made no sense.
I mean, I can see her more in like a fighting game rather than Siege.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. The Siege one is just stupid. Plus, you can't do double pistols, which you and me and John talked about in that one episode when we talked about it. It's just bad. Yeah, anyway, so until March 16th, there's some event, and she's playable for now. I mean, it's weird. So far, all the cameo characters haven't been permanent in Brawlhalla, so it's like, imagine if like when they added Snake or Cloud or whoever,
you don't play that
for like 2 weeks you get to play. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know the point of that. Speaking of shit that I don't get the point of, but apparently, damn, Roblox is now valued at $4 billion. I've never got Roblox, which the article does state that if you're old, you probably don't get it.
Yeah,
it's more of like the use. But apparently they are so popular that they have reported 115 million monthly users, which is more than Minecraft.
Damn.
And of course, again, for someone actually is me, not in total, as monthly people, everyone online playing Minecraft versus everyone online playing Roblox, since this past August, Roblox has superseded Minecraft. So, there's that. Crazy. I don't get it. It looks like Second Life, but with like worse graphics and weird block people. Like,
man,
yeah.
I've only heard it explained to me as a Minecraft wannabe, I guess.
Okay,
like,
so.
I don't know. I really don't know much about it.
Yeah.
Except I see toys at stores.
Yeah, which is It's crazy we live in a world where we see Minecraft, Five Nights at Freddy's, and
like Fortnite toys.
Yeah. But isn't that weird, though? The one that... not any of those, really, except for the Five Nights at Freddy's one. I don't think it's a kid's game.
No, it shouldn't.
So it's weird that...
But kids love it!
Yeah, it's weird that, you see, like, a toy of Chica or Freddy Fazbear next to, like, the Legos at, like, Walmart or something. It's like...
Yeah.
I feel like kids should not be playing that. But, you know what? There are probably some kids who have an easier time playing it than I do. Because I'm a big baby and that game scares the fuck out of me.
It's certainly a weird culture. Because growing up, we didn't really have, like... Mario and Legend of Zelda toys.
No.
Like, I freaked out when I saw, like, a Link action figure at Target.
It was like a big
years
deal.
Ago. Yeah. Yeah,
that's where I got my Metroid figures.
Nice.
When they had that... Because they did do, like, a limited run of toys a few years ago that was, like, Metroid, Legend of Zelda, Mario, stuff like that. Yeah, but you're right, though. It's not super common. I don't know, it's weird. But I guess the Five Nights at Freddy's thing is only so weird because when we were growing up, there were like Predator toys and Terminator toys and
they had
all that shit. And RoboCop, I had a RoboCop toy.
I had a RoboCop toy. I had Terminator toys.
All those shits hella rated R or PG-13 or whatever. Point being, not for kids. So yeah, it's weird, right? Toys and not collectible, expensive adult action figures. I mean, like hella toys, like at Walmart, at Target, at Toys R Us. It was weird, but yeah. Overwatch is launching its first mode in a while. Experimental at the moment, not a permanent one. They said they're just trying to test the waters to see if anyone digs it. It's going to be a damage dealer focused mode. Now, given how many damage dealers fuck up our queues or our comp anyways, and I guess finally give them a mode where all the cancer can kind of go to one side of the building.
Jeez.
But it's going to introduce team comps in this mode are going to be 3-2-1, 3 damage, 2 healers, 1 tank. Now, what they're doing, because they foresaw that 1 tank kind of fucked. If you're just a diva or if you're just an Orisa and you're just by yourself and you're playing with a bunch of god-awful damage dealers, like fucking you have a McCree, a Reaper, and a fucking soldier just running away from you, fucking you over, they knew that was probably going to be a thing. So in that mode, tanks are given additional abilities, whether it be more health. Zarya can apparently take even more damage. Diva apparently has some boosted skills. Oh, she can use her defense matrix like twice as long. Like they made tweaks in that mode to be like, we got you, tanks. We know you're going to be the one.
Yeah.
But we'll try to help you out. So, Jeff Kaplan, of course, said that this mode will, in so many words, he didn't use these exact phrasing, but I know where he was going. It's likely this mode will be a disaster, but they hope to learn like how to make a mode out of it, should they need to change it from 3-2-1. But it's interesting. I mean, if you think about it, if your team or you play with people that are pretty good, having a Reaper Soldier and like a McCree or something like that, like... you know, or a McCree or a Widowmaker, and then you have like a Lucio Mercy tandem, and then you have a good Diva Reinhardt. It's not a bad idea sometimes.
Yeah. Depends
on the thing, but all of that stuff is, of course, it's called triple damage, the mode, because there's 3 damage dealers. This, of course, coincides with the Mardi Gras event, which is a brand new event that they just started to add to their annual ones, which the event is definitely centralized under pushing this mode. They only added a few things. It's considered a light event compared to the other ones because the way you gain the stuff isn't through loot boxes. Maybe it's their way of trying to move away from it, but they go from moving the loot boxes, instead of just loot boxes. You know how like you could do your daily reward shit, and if you played it, you can get like up to 3 loot boxes in a thing or whatever. Now, the first 3 victories that you get during the event, you get some icons, then the next tier is a spray, and then the final tier, if you get it, is a special costume for Ash, who is the main mascot of the event. So, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the scan. It wasn't too...
Yeah, it's not really that great. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Their immersive mode, whatever the fuck that is, got delayed. Who gives a fuck? That game sucks. I don't know why people still play. Ghost Recon Breakpoint is just a bad game, which sucks because Ghost Recon used to be good. They said they're going to have more information on March 5th about what the fuck's happening or what to expect from it. It's kind of funny when this happens because this is just like Fallout 76 when the Wastelanders update got pushed out to have the bad stuff that was broken in their Fallout first pack instead. So it's just like they're trying to save these bad games, but then they almost double down by delaying the thing that's going to save it. So, I don't know. It's weird. Let's see. I'm kind of going through these kind of fast. Well, I need to use the water closet. Talk about some Fire Emblem shit or something.
Oh, God.
Try to keep it entertained, Josh.
Why you put me on the spot like this? Fucking hell, man. I haven't played Fire Emblem in a while.
Talk about Mega Man and your struggles or otherwise.
You know what? Mega Man. Yeah, Mega Man 1 is a pretty fucking tough game if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. I tried to fight Gutsman first. It didn't fucking work out. Nope. Had to ask a friend, hey, what's the first boss in this damn game? And I was told it was Bomb Man. So I went and fought Bomb Man. It took me a few tries. I was playing it on the Switch, so it's got the rewind function, so I was Sansa timing that shit up. Beat Bomb Man. Beat Gutsman. I forgot who is weak to Gutsman, but I beat them too. Oh, Cutman. Yeah, so I'm at Wily's Castle. It's hard. Playing Mega Man X as well. I'm at the part to Sigma's Castle. I'm trying to get all the energy tanks and all the heart tanks. It's been a while since I played Mega Man X. I had to look it up online. Try to find a walkthrough for that shit. Played Zero. Never got to play the Zero games on the Game Boy Advance, so I decided to pick up the collection. The collection is really nice. Pretty nice collection. Found out that one of the first bosses is technically a gatekeeping boss. So that took a few tries, but was able to get that down. That was fun. Good stuff. Good stuff. Debating on possibly streaming them. I really don't know yet. But I am really bad at these games. Never really got to play them much growing up. Mega Man X were probably the ones that I played the most. Especially on GameCube. But did play X4 and X5. Quite a bit on PlayStation. Never owned X4 though. Only X5. But I had the GameCube collection. So I played a bunch of Mega Man X with that one. Fire Emblem. Haven't played much of Three Houses. But a buddy of mine mentioned possibly streaming Path of Radiance on the GameCube, which I would love to do, but I need an HDMI converter so that I can do so. And put that on Twitch, and everybody can see how bad I am. everybody can see how terrible I am at that. So, yeah.
So,
hey, you're back.
I just saw a announcement page thing that there's going to be like some Selena concert, tribute concert coming up. And for some fuck-ass reason, like Pitbull's one of the main like people, because, you know, when you think of Selena, you think of Mr. Worldwide.
Selena.
Mr. fucking International. Anyways, right, Ghost Recon Breakpoint sucks. The Xbox Series X is based on performance stuff. I'm going to link all the nerd stuff below. I'm not reading all the teraflop bullshit, whatever the fuck. For those who that means anything to, you will get the link below. But anyways, the Xbox Series X is set to quadruple the Xbox One's GPU performance, which is good, because the Xbox One's GPU performance was already good. It just didn't have any games. That's the Xbox's only real folly is that, and then bad marketing, but that's on Microsoft. I saw an article that this is one of the things I griped to about Josh already, but I saw an article that talked about how one of the features confirmed for the PS5 is backwards compatibility, and the thing that Sony's not at fault, but whoever wrote the article is at fault, in which they said they're doing this to get closer to Xbox One's capabilities. You're talking about a console that is backwards compatible to the original.
That's like an extra generation.
Being one gen is not, like, good, you know what I mean? The Xbox Series X, Xbox One, Xbox 360, original Xbox, and but it's going PS5, PS4. That's not really the same amount of library, so...
Oh, it's only going to PS4?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so... I just find it weird that they're just like, yeah, this is going to rival Xbox's ability to go back, and it's like, it's not...
I mean, not really.
Though.
I mean, if it did play every single, like, previous PlayStation game, that'd be hella dope.
Yeah, that would be cool. Everyone wants that, I don't know. Of course, PlayStation is still on that weird fence ever since one of the... I forgot if the CEO or some dumb fuck at Sony was just like, who cares about backwards compatibility? We're too busy looking at the future. And then they released like 1 million remastered collections after saying that. So it's just like, looking at the future, are ya? Mm-hmm. Or charging for backwards compatibility. Future it's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, basically. A couple of things other than the GPU performance for Xbox that was further talked about was that the Xbox Series X allegedly will be able to resume games even after a proper restart. Now, here's the weird thing. Shouldn't a full restart, like, clear everything, including the GPU or the RAM or anything? Like, I feel like that could cause issues in the future if it's not dumping everything when it restarts.
And don't you usually restart because maybe you just got in a frustrating part of the game? You just felt, I just want to restart.
I guess, as I say it out loud, I might already have answered my question, but that's why sometimes you have to say things out loud. Perhaps when you close the game out completely before restarting, then it dumps everything. But if you have the game active when you restart, it's like, oh, he's probably wanting to keep that open. Close out everything, but...
Yeah.
I mean, it is getting to the point where the specs in the Series X and the PS5 are both something that we haven't been able to fathom before, because even in the heydays of our gaming PCs, we've never owned a gaming PC that's quite on that spec level in terms of, like, solid state everything, 16 gigs of RAM, and all this bullshit. But who knows? We'll see. Some price speculation came out. That was another poorly worded article where they kind of baited you into as if Microsoft has officially stated the price of the Xbox Series X, but all it is just them speculating. I understand. You got me to look like that's the point of your little shitty headline, but don't lie. Like, don't like why? Like, if you're a journalist, like 100%, like why would that be the first thing you do? Is just straight up lie. Like, anyways, all they talked about was the same thing we've been talking about in the last few episodes. My prediction, $600. I understand some people think that's too high. I can see it. But obviously they shouldn't do it at cost. $450 is too little. So all the article ended up saying is like, yes, it'll be somewhere in between. Then no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, idiot. I've been saying that, and that's just called speculation, but whatever. Continuing on Xbox One news, the Xbox One has a new updated home screen, which apparently is less cluttered and looks less shitty. The only issue being they still have stuff in there that no one asked for, like shortcuts to Mixer and stuff like that. So it's just like, would you stop?
You gotta use Mixer, though.
Yeah, I get it. You know, it's like Samsung with Bixby. Like, they keep pushing... Like, I love Samsung phones, but Bixby's shit, so, like, remove it. Mm-hmm. But their whole thing is, well, we spent so much money on it already, of course we're going to push it.
Yeah, yeah.
But, from what I saw, the home screen and organization, or lack thereof from before, seems to be cleaned up a bit more. It looks nice. It does look a little more... It still has that weird tile, like, Windows 10 look that they like so much. But it looks better. It looks less all over the place. So, there's that. Good old games, GOG, whatever you want to call them. Obviously, owners of CD Projekt Red, Witcher, Cyberpunk, yada yada yada. Asks you to please not be a dick about their 30-day policy. Now, they're not the only store with a 30-day policy. However, Steam and Epic Games both only limit you to 2 hours. If you have played or had the game open for more than 2 hours and the client count catches you as such, it is no longer refundable, regardless of how little you've owned the game. GOG's terms to their refund policy is a bit more open. As long as you return it within 30 days, you can play it as much as you have. So what people have been doing is just beating games and returning them. Don't do that. It does say, thankfully, they've of course put a backdoor where it says, we can refuse to refund you for whatever reason we feel like it. Which obviously is, if it looks like you have 120 hours in Red Dead 2, they don't have Red Dead 2 on there, that's a bad example, but, okay, you have 120 on Witcher 3, you probably beat it, fuck your refund.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's pretty good. But they're pretty good about giving refunds, even if it looks like a ludicrous amount of hours or whatever. But they just ask and plead, please don't abuse it. Just don't be a dick. Like,
yeah.
It's stupid, because I know what a lot of people are doing, would-be content creators or otherwise are just trying to play every game on the market. Oh, I'm getting every game on the market. I'm getting to fucking get my feet in there and play it for a few hours each. That's not what that's for.
Yeah.
That's what shit like GameFly is for. That's what shit like buying the game is for, but using someone's refund policy is not what it's for.
Yeah.
Even, I will admit that I've done that for a couple of games for GameStop a long time ago, but they're a dead company, so it doesn't really matter, does it? So there's that. Yeah, don't do that. It's not to test games. Here's what the refund policy is for, because I had some dumbass try to get into it with me about this shit. The refund policy, and the reason they should have that 2-hour limit on there, it's to see if your computer can run the game, or if you run into a glitch or hiccup very soon. If it shouldn't take more than 2 hours to figure out if you like the game or if you'll figure it out. Even technically, you're not supposed to refund if you don't like it. You're just supposed to only refund it if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I've refunded stuff to Steam before, but that's because those games blow ass. So there's that. Speaking of dead companies, no, I'm just joking. GOG's not anywhere near dead, but this company certainly is. GameStop has recently revealed what they call concept stores, and what they're trying to do is they realize, you know how they're dying. So they're wasting thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars by remodeling certain stores to have a new point, I guess. So here's what GameStop is looking to be from some of the concept stores that people... the article I saw was from Kotaku, but here's what it's like. You go in here, GameStop, it's basically... like a quarter of it is what GameStop used to be. You see your like wall of PlayStation 4, Xbox games, stuff like that. The register's right here. Then there's like basically a Think Geek in between, and then a PC Cafe on the other side. Now, the way the PC Cafe stuff works is there's no charge. It's free for you to use as a Power Up Rewards member, in which they do check your... they're gonna like link your login or some shit or check it or whatever. They also, of course, will ID you if you're playing a mature rated game or whatever. But I just feel like if you're trying to save I get it. You gotta spend money to make money, you know. I feel like they're having filed bankruptcy already. I feel like they're too far off the edge already to be like, let's redesign stores.
Yeah.
Do you know? Now, of course, they only have concept stores. This is why they just did concept stores. They're probably trying to win some investors over. Probably want some Bezos money or something like that. But, dude, just let go already. Yeah, like, I've already sliced all of your fingers off and you're hanging onto that cliff still by your middle finger. And it's just like, just give up. Die. Like, go away.
Yeah.
I understand that will leave tons unemployed, but guess what? Your masters are idiots. So there's that. It's weird. Even the dude who wrote the article for Kotaku did say that there's no way that this... It's so out of touch and disconnected, the design. It's just grasping at straws at this point. And that if they are going to save themselves, it's not this. Because this will not fix their model, which is selling pre-owned and making as much money, buying and selling pre-owned is their bread and butter, and that's what's dying off. Until they fix the big fucking hole in the side of their ship, it's not going to stop it from sinking.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out.
It's not, because digital sales for the last few years have been at an all-time high, and physical sales are all the way fucking down here.
What would you think if they were to start a rental service?
That might be their best bet. Better than this bullshit.
Yeah.
To me, that's a better idea.
I would be open to that. It's like, hey, there's a game I want to check out. Let me rent it from GameStop. And because they can probably do the same bullshit. We're like, well, if you don't return it in X amount of days, we'll just charge you for the whole thing.
Right. And you know how Blockbuster still exists, but just not as a brick and mortar?
Just like the one...
Yeah, and then the rest of it are kiosks or whatever, like Redbox.
Yeah.
Do you feel that to save it, though, GameStop would probably, if they do go rental, probably just have to be like a Redbox competitor then?
So what I would see doing if they were to go down that route is, sadly, there would be some downsizing. I would see them shutting down some of the stores, maybe the ones that don't get as much traffic as others. They would build the kiosks there. So I think that would be a thing.
But you don't think entirely, you don't think they'd have to or would probably want to dismantle brick and mortar entirely?
Something tells me that their culture or whatever wouldn't want to let go of that.
Yeah, okay.
So I have a feeling they would still stick, because I mean they also bought out ThinkGeek. You think they're going to run out on that investment too? Like, you're not going to be able to do that.
I don't get that store. Have you ever been in one?
I've never been in a ThinkGeek because they fucking closed it.
Oh.
I think if I recall correctly, they closed it.
Oh, the one at Ingram?
North Star, I think it was at.
Oh, there's one at Ingram.
Oh, is there?
I thought.
Oh, well,
I think.
I don't know.
Or is it just another one that they own? There's so many geek cultures. A geek culture store is just a bunch of cringy shit. Like,
I would say if I was working for GameStop, and if some fucking GameStop suit hears this and fucking implements this idea, I want to find out who the fuck you are. But they need to fucking get on Amazon's same day delivery shit.
Yep.
Because I once pre-ordered a game from GameStop, and I thought it was bullshit that you don't get it on launch.
You don't, unless you pay a shitload of money.
Yeah.
I did the Monster Hunter, I got the Monster Hunter 3DS, or new 3DS, and I had to spend $50 extra to get it on launch day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I got pissed when that happened, because it's like, wow, I'm paying for shipping, and I don't get it on the same day.
Fuck off.
Yeah, like... You know, if you were to just say free shipping and you just get it whenever, fine.
But the fact is you pay for shipping.
Yeah.
We live in a society in which... Yeah, because remember when Amazon used to let you upgrade your shipping now? But now it's just all complimentary to Prime.
Yeah, pretty much.
You used to have to be like, if you want next day, it's $4 more, $5 more. That's how much, or more. That's how much or less than I'm paying for GameStop shipping. The shittiest.
Yeah.
Shit tier USPS horse shit.
So, I mean, those would be my suggestions for what GameStop
There you guys go. Credit, please.
Yeah.
Cite sources if you use this to get out of debt or out of bankruptcy. Shovel Knight, Pocket Dungeon. Nice to see. Shovel Knight's going a few places. They have that. It's weird. It's a spin-off crossover game with some company that I've never heard of before. When I looked up their games, so that's one of the games that's coming out with Shovel Knight in it. Shovel Knight's obviously made cameos and stuff already. He's going to be in Indivisible, stuff like that. He has a new game coming out, and it's a puzzle game. You know, what kind of...
Yeah, it looks neat.
What kind of asshole doesn't like a puzzle game? You know what I mean? It's cool. It's got your little, adventure segments in between, and then puzzles. And then adventure more, and puzzles. And I'm sure it's going to have some sort of narrative, which the Shovel Knight narrative is always easy to follow and fun. You know, it's cool. Nice to see Shovel Knight becoming a franchise.
A puzzling narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Yacht Club Games, of course, also showed off another game that they're working on. No longer just Shovel Knight. For years now, for like the last 8-9 years, they've been the Shovel Knight company, because that's literally all they worked on, is all Shovel Knight stuff.
Shovel Knight
but
Studio.
They're making a brand new game called Cyber Shadow, which basically looks like a cool Ninja Gaiden type game. It looks badass. The aesthetics look cool. The music sounds awesome. The challenge looks like it's going to be like... your old school challenges, minus the Mike Nate nonsense of actually having, like, fair stuff. Like, everything in there isn't, like, because the game's old and broken, you know? You're probably going to have save states. That's cool.
Yeah.
You got to do that shit. So, anyways, that shit looks cool. Wonderful 101. The day after we recorded last, when I was trying to speculate release date, they fucked me in the ass and told me the actual release date the day after we record. But it'll be coming out on May 19th, so not too far. Kamiya and Platinum Games did talk about how they are going through the obvious struggles of converting it from Wii U to Switch and having to remove some of the stuff that requires you to use the gamepad, so they're going to have to tweak some of the levels and segments, but, you know, should be good.
Mm-hmm.
Platinum Games, of course, also announcing... This is all from their, like, Platinum 4 shit or whatever, where they announced a bunch of stuff. The other thing that they announced is really cool is Project GG, the tentative title of it, at least. Of course, going to be directed by Hideki Kamiya, and then also being worked on by Inaba, both from Platinum Games. It's because it's a Platinum Games project. But it looks great. It looks like some weird Sentai Ultraman...
yeah, when I saw that,
Godzilla.
at first I almost thought it was like an Ultraman game.
Yeah.
But I was like...
So we'll see where they go from it. Very, very vague teaser, which I will link below. Just kind of flexing the names of the top wigs from Platinum that are going to be working on it together, with the exception of Mikami. But Kamiya's going to be there in Inaba, so there you go. Should be good. We'll see. We don't even know anything. It could be a movie for all we know. But they have said, though, that this is their first independent project since going, like, solo. Because they talked about how they want to start being in charge of all their destinies. Because you have Babylon Fall, which is Sony-related. You have Wonderful 101 and Bayo 3, which is Nintendo-related. You had Scalebound, which is Xbox. They always had a company that they promised it to. But this is going to be their first, like, full-on Platinum is Platinum game, so...
I do have a question if it's, like, I wonder if there's any relation to Beautiful Joe, because it does do that a go-go thing.
Yeah, it does.
So...
Could be. Which is funny, because John was just talking about wanting to.
Yeah.
So, that'd be cool.
And then, what was it? It said it was, like, the final part of a Hero trilogy or something like that?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. That could mean several things. That could mean, like... Kamiya's Hero trilogy, because Kamiya did Okami, Bayonetta, and then maybe this is the last hero-based thing on that.
Maybe.
But then again, he worked on Wonderful 101, so you could say Wonder Red was already part of that, unless it's like you get rid of Okami and then you do Bayonetta, Wonder Red, and...
Yeah.
Or, is it Beautiful? You don't know. Yeah, exactly. Who knows? So I'm excited to see more. I think it looked cool. Despite being vague, it got me very excited. So very cool to see. We're going to see Platinum go whole hog. And what that's going to be like is how we saw... Kojima go whole hog, which is, some people really loved it, some people not quite. Yeah. Japan loved it. Like, in Japan, Death Stranding fucking did phenomenal. Here in the States and in the Western world, kind of a mixed reception.
Yeah.
But it still did fine. I feel like, and I think it was Pat that said this, but I agree with him, where I feel like, I guess it didn't do well, because they probably would have bragged about how much money it made, so they kind of talk about everything else instead of being like, it sold gangbuster numbers. It probably sold okay, enough to not sink Kojima Studio, but, you know. The game grew on me. I played it for a bit, and at first I was just like, what the fuck is this? But it's so weird and so stupid that it started to win me over. Now, this is the guy who thinks that Deadly Premonition isn't the top 3 games of all time, but, you know. If you like silly shit like Yakuza or whatever, where, like, you gotta be into weird stuff. That's all it really is. It's just that, like, it is nonsense. It is stupid. It makes no sense whatsoever. The narrative's just... It's not necessarily plot hole filled, and it does have a beginning, a middle, and an end, but you don't feel like you still understood what happened, despite that you understood that this was the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Right.
That's about the only thing that's clear, but yeah. Also, like many people, the star power is a bit much sometimes, where you're just like, oh, I've seen them in that movie, and oh, it's Daryl and all this shit, and it's just like...
Yeah.
That's, I think, you know, obviously he had a lot of money to throw around. He made a lot of friends when he was schmoozing around to Hollywood for Silent Hills, but you could tone that down a bit, I think. That's my only real complaint about it. But other than that, nice and stupid. I loved it. Like, good old Kojima nonsense. I think that the game did not deserve the negative criticism that it got, because it's not a bad game. I think people should have just used the phrase, I didn't like it, or it wasn't my cup of tea. But, you know, saying it's bad, I guess it's the society we live in where everything's just bad now. Samurai Jack has a new game coming out. Now, I was sad that this was not part of Platinum's announcements, because I feel Platinum Games' character action style that bred Bayonetta and DMC would have been perfect for Samurai Jack to be flying around doing Sadistic Six style, but it isn't. However, it does seem like Phil Lamar is... Either they got a very good Phil Lamar like...
It sounds like Phil Lamar.
Yeah, either they got a very good impersonator, or it is him. Now we know that Aku is not the original.
Yeah.
Because it can't be, unless they're using voice modulator or something.
I mean, it definitely doesn't sound like Mako.
Yeah.
Which is, it sucks. Like, I saw it and I was like, yeah, this looks pretty neat. I would have totally loved to have played something like that younger when Samurai Jack was on television.
Yeah.
But every time I would hear Aku, I was like, ooh, yeah, that's not...
Yeah.
And it always sucks, like, like going back and watching, Legend of Korra, and then, when Uncle Iroh shows up, it's a little...
It's like, yeah, I know it's not them. It's like when Terrence Howard died and dropped out of Iron Man and got replaced by Don Cheadle, yeah.
Yeah. Probably not as bad, but...
No, I know.
Yeah, because, I mean, it is heartbreaking, because, Uncle Iroh was such a lovable character.
He really was. He had to take care of two shitheads.
Yeah. And then you go into Legend of Korra, and, part of you is all like, oh, it's Uncle Iroh, and then, ooh, that's...
Someone I know gave me a relationship analysis test when they said that the fact that I like Azula explained a lot of things.
It's not to like about her.
I also like the ditzy one in her.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, I forget her name, but I do. Yeah, she's funny. Cool. And then was it Mai who was Zaku? Yeah, she was great.
That seems like your type.
Yeah, no, she's a great character.
Yeah.
Man,
it also was the type of someone who's not in my life anymore. Go figure.
Yeah.
Of course it would.
I need to rewatch Last Airbender. It's so great.
Yeah, it was so hard to collect before, because collecting DVDs is the most bullshit thing on the earth, almost as bad as collecting VHSs. And then Blu-rays wasn't necessarily easy either because of the price points, even though I own the Legend of Korra ones. But now they do have one. It's a complete Airbender and Korra saga.
Yeah, I think I saw it at Walmart one time.
It's like $50. At least on Amazon it's like $50.
Oh god, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to look for that sometime.
Yep. But I just wish Platinum was working on Samurai Jack game. And that Iroh was Iroh. But
yeah, I mean...
we touched on it already. PS5 features that were confirmed by GameStop, because, that's a trustworthy place. Other than what we said already, and that the specs are similar to Xbox Series X, it's going to have full 8K TV support, because anyone gives a fuck about that, and then full backwards compatibility with PS4 and PSVR. Okay. YouTuber Kurt0411, a FIFA Pro player, has been banned for being an asshole. So, first he got banned from FIFA for being an asshole, then he went on and was just a big prick and was just like, oh, it's French, I can't do a French accent, but he was just like, oh, fuck you, EA, fuck you, your game sucked my balls, and then he did that for like, fucking, the rant is on Twitter, I'll try to remember to link it below.
And then he spit on a scarf with like it looked like a scarf and had the EA logo.
Now this is behavior coming in from a guy who was temporarily banned from his bread and butter esport. Mm-hmm. And this was how he was reacting to the company he's trying to be a player for.
So I went through his Twitter. Now, granted, this is biased because I was going through his own Twitter feed, and I don't know much about this guy, but it does seem that... okay, so one of the cons is that he seems to be very like, oh, this game and this community is nothing without me. But two, it does seem... Oh, God. But it seems like he really, really hates EA's practices.
Yep. Which is fair.
Yeah.
But don't try to be a pro sport in an EA game if you're going to hate the company.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, I guess. Get good at Fortnite. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just fight Ninja, so two assholes can see each other.
Get good at Fortnite, yeah.
Because it's not that hard. You just click the mouse, right, in Fortnite?
That's all you gotta do. Just click the mouse on the person's head.
Hey, Ninja, check it out. If you hear this, love to get you on the cast to hear your take on whatever the fuck it is you do. Click the mouse or whatever.
Plays with children?
Plays with children, that's what it is. Japanese third-party poll by a site called Inside Games has revealed, of course this is Japan's bias, of course it's going to be two of the most weeb-ass choices on Earth. have revealed that Sora and Dante are the lead candidates for who they want to see in Smash.
Ooh.
And now, of course, that was by a pretty big margin. Now, people are saying that Dante's pretty likely because Bayonetta's already in there, so clearly more mature game characters can be in there, and
but not my Shiranui.
But not Matt. Oh god, yeah, no, not that.
Not her.
You can't have her.
Nope.
So yeah, that's interesting because of course Sora, I guess.
I could see both of them in there.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, so I was going to talk about this beginning and I forgot. Kazuhisa Hashimoto, aka Konami developer, Konami Codeman, passed away at 61 this week. So he is gone. So every time I'm bad at Contra, that's to him. Wait, hold on. Because of the Konami code, not because I'm bad at Contra.
Yeah.
But I need the Konami code because I am bad at Contra, so thank him for making that code.
He made it so y'all can win.
Exactly. There's a game that also recently came out on Switch called Speed Dating for Ghosts. I believe it's also available on Steam. Very interesting. I definitely want to check it out. It's only like $7 or some shit like that, so it's not even that expensive. But yeah, you go through, you meet all these undead. You're assumedly you're undead also, and you're trying to meet a partner. And there's all sorts of different types, from old, nice, puffy flower ghost lady to someone who asks you if you want to rob a bank on a first date. So there's that.
Nice.
What I'm very curious about is the trailer was very vague, but I do want to see where does it go. Is it all just tech shit? Does it go like you and so decide to do this and you're supposed to imagine it, or is there going to be cutscenes or whatever?
Yeah, who knows?
It's made in Unity, so who knows? Unity has shown the best of elaborate stuff and
more
simple, and yeah. But we'll see. It's a cute looking game. Baldur's Gate 3 finally got to see some gameplay. And the guy that was holding the panel was hilarious. He was pretty funny. He had some he had good presentation. I liked his presence. Usually I cringe when I watch gameplay reveal stuff because it's always just two assholes from IGN. Oh, excuse me. It's always two assholes from IGN just being like, I'm trying to be funny. I'm funny too. Wow, this kind of looks like a penis. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Just show me the fucking game and shut the fuck up.
Wow, this game has too much water.
Oh god, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, basically. Okay. Anyways, Baldur's Gate 3 looks great. Looks like a top-down RPG, which Baldur's Gate was. Obviously modern looking. He showed a lot of cool stuff you could do, like how some of the dungeons are going to be pretty hard. You have to think very critically in the terms of, like, he showed a part where you had to count your turns out because then the enemy gets their turns, including traps and everything are on turn base. So he showed how to get around a few of them and just to start thinking. He showed how, although they are going to patch this out, where it's going to be crazy. The AI can now, if you disarm them, or if they don't have a weapon, can gun for weapons around the room. So anything usable in the room, they can run for. But he did show that if you use your turns wisely, you can disarm stuff like skeletons and move their bows away. So there's all that good stuff.
Skeletons.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have much experience with the Baldur's Gate games?
Absolutely none.
Okay. My brother used to play them a lot growing up. So.
I think probably the only closest thing, and I don't even really know if this counts, would probably be Dragon Age Origins, because I heard it was supposed to be technically a successor to Baldur's Gate.
Spiritual.
Yeah. But no, sadly, I have not. I mean, yeah, you showed me the video. It was like an hour long. And ain't nobody got time for this shit.
Yeah, that's why I just wanted you to skip through it.
Yeah, when I was kind of seeing through it, so like I mentioned, I've never played any of the games, but it kind of looked a bit turn-based, almost RTS, like you position the characters and stuff like that. I did see there was like a command.
Yep.
I don't know, not necessarily a command... Not a command wheel per se, but it almost looked like, almost like in an MMO or something. So.
It is. And that's how it functions as well.
Yeah, it almost kind of reminded me of Divinity, except without the turn-based stuff.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yep.
Cool.
So, good stuff. The cutscenes and the character models are gorgeous, though. When I was watching some of the dialogue situations or otherwise, it looked really good. So, yeah, it's like a classic Baldur's Gate game with the right modernizations and quality of life changes, which is always nice to see. Borderlands 3 is finally coming to Steam after, Epic Games exclusive nonsense. So it's going to be coming to Steam, and what it's coming with as well, it doesn't come with it, so let me clear that up. But Borderlands 3 is going to launch their first DLC for the game, which is called Guns, Love, and Tentacles. It's a Cthulhu-themed DLC. It's going to be coming out next month. The rest of the roadmap, however, is free. I gotta say, despite Randy Pitchford and Borderlands 3 not being that great of a game, at least not in contrast to the hype, I do think that their monetization that it does have is not entirely shitty, which is a concern I did have, so good on them, I suppose.
Hopefully they keep it up and don't be like, fooled you!
Exactly. So you gotta pay for the Guns, Love, and Tentacles one, but the rest of it's gonna be free. You get 2 more updates in April, and then a major update in May. All of that is free of charge. So, cool. An interesting article recently came out this week, of course, about Mass Effect and how people play Mass Effect. And John John E. Cena, he recently put out a tweet in which he said that it turns out that most people are good people, at least when they play video games, because 92% of Mass Effect players throughout the series are Paragon. That's pretty high.
Yeah.
To which the developer made a funny joke where he said, and to think we put a lot of work into the Renegade content.
That's the thing with the Renegade content. It's always just more entertaining.
It is.
But one of my problems with Mass Effect was that if you went Renegade, you weren't necessarily evil. You're just... It
wasn't like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or KOTOR.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like
hella bad.
If anything, it is kind of more like Star Wars. Like, you're just Han Solo.
Yes.
A bit slightly more dickish Han Solo. Like, you're still the good guy.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, Renegade. That's why I think it's better to call it Renegade, not evil.
Yeah.
It's not like Star Wars where it was Jedi and Sith.
But, Renegade has some of the best moments.
It does. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, is it Mass Effect 2 when, you're talking to that guy with the blue suns, and then, if he doesn't do what you want, you can just electrocute him or something?
Yes, you can.
It's great.
It's great.
Those were good games, except for...
How did you play them? Did you primarily play them as whatever came to mind? Did you play them as...
So I usually would do one character Paragon, and then I would do a second playthrough as a Renegade. I usually always had FemShep as Renegade, because...
Nice.
Just make her a badass.
Hell yeah.
So...
Yeah, I would have that thing until I realized I don't usually do a second playthrough.
Yeah, I didn't do a second playthrough with 3. I was going to, but that game was just not great, and I didn't want to go through it a second time. Not worth it. So
not worth it, even for the patched ending.
But I went through 1 and 2 quite a bit. I think I probably did maybe 3 or 4 playthroughs with the first one, and then probably 2 or 3 with the second. So
there you go.
Yeah.
And then this last thing was going to be really repetitive because we talked about this already, so fuck this. If you could, what would be your dream game moment a game you'd want to be in?
I would want to be in?
Yeah. Either as a cameo or you're just in the background or a reference to some shit that you like or whatever.
Oh man, shit. I don't know. Make a Duel Links NPC based off me.
There you go. Me, it'd be Yakuza.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's such a tough question. You want to be in almost anything,
of
right?
Course. All the stuff you like.
Yeah.
All right, then. That's it. The end. Bye. Catch you guys next week, every Monday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, see ya. Bye-bye.
I was serious about that comment, GameStop, motherfuckers.